Hey friends! When it comes to encounters with bears, people come up with the most incredible ways to survive. In this video, I'll tell you how bear spray has become a real lifesaver in critical situations. Find out exactly how it works and why bears start to back away. But here's the catch. One mistake in using it, and it can turn into a disaster. And the most interesting thing is how many people have been hurt by using this spray incorrectly. It's going to be exciting, and it might be a bit shocking, so don't miss a second. A tourist in the national park and an encounter with a grizzly. The first incident took place in Yellowstone National Park, and it serves as a clear example of successful defense against wild animals in a potentially dangerous situation. It all happened when a tourist, exploring the park's scenic trails, suddenly came face-to-face with a grizzly bear that had emerged from the bushes. A face-to-face encounter with one of the most powerful predators in North America could have ended tragically if it weren't for the woman's decisive and thoughtful actions. She instinctively, yet calmly, pulled out the bear spray, a self-defense tool specifically designed to deter bears when necessary. The woman aimed the spray right at the approaching grizzly. And you know what? It worked out. Right. I'd like to point out one important fact right away. It all worked out. Really, I'd like to point out one important fact right away. She was really lucky because there was a good wind at that moment, which helped deliver the active ingredient directly to the bear, not giving it a chance to continue the attack. Grizzly's reaction was immediate and disappointing. The animal suddenly stopped, started coughing, and then, losing interest in the tourist, quickly moved off to the side. That's exactly how bear spray works. It can protect a person in case of danger even in the most unusual places. And the most important thing is that this woman used it correctly. But I'll probably talk about that later. And now let's move on to the second case. A fisherman by the river and a black bear. An incident occurred on the banks of the Columbia River, which separates the US and Canada, which emphasizes the importance of vigilance and the timely use of self-defense tools when encountering wild animals. A fisherman faced a young black bear drawn by the smell of fish. Suddenly found himself face-to-face with an unexpected guest, a young black bear drawn in by the smell of fresh fish. The situation quickly became tense as the bear started to approach the spot where the fisherman was. At the moment when the animal got critically close, the man decided to use the bear spray. However, his reaction was a bit late. At the moment when the animal came critically close, the man decided to use bear spray. However, his reaction was a bit late. He was only able to activate the spray when the bear was already too close. And that was a very serious mistake in safety protocol. Using the spray at such close range did help scare off the bear, but the man also got hurt pretty badly. The spray, which contained irritating substances, also hit the fisherman's face, causing burning, tearing, and temporary disorientation. As a result, trying to avoid further contact with the bear, the fisherman tripped and fell, after getting a few scratches. But, as you might have guessed, the bear wasn't too happy either, and he decided to avoid a confrontation with such a strange and dangerous creature, like a person. Honestly, things could have turned out differently if, for example, the spray hadn't hit the bear. A family with kids and an aggressive female grizzly. The next incident happened in a sanctuary in the state of Montana, the U.S. There, a female grizzly bear with her cubs came across a family of tourists. As you might have guessed, the family was enjoying a walk on a hiking trail when suddenly a mother grizzly bear appeared in front of them with her cubs. The female, sensing a threat to her cubs, started to show aggression, growling, and slowly approaching the people. The father of the family, deciding to protect his loved ones, acted quickly and decisively. Realizing that the bear could attack, he pulled out the bear spray and, staying calm, used it from about 20 feet away from the animal. That distance allowed for the effective use of the spray while also keeping a safe space between the family and the bear. The bear's reaction was instant. The spray caused irritation to her mucous membranes, making her shake her head and become confused. Stunned and losing her aggression, The bear soon turned around and led her cubs away, moving away from the potential threat. Thanks to this, the tourists managed to carve out enough time to safely back away and continue on their way without any further incident. A group of tourists and the wind, not in the right direction. But the next case wasn't quite as rosy. In a remote area of northern Canada, not far from Hudson Bay, an incident occurred that almost turned into a tragedy for a small group of 5 people. During their journey through the Arctic wilderness, they encountered a polar bear, one of the largest and most dangerous predators in the region. When encountering a wild animal, the group tried to use bear spray, a tool meant for self-defense, in the event of an attack by wild animals. However, at the crucial moment, when they attempted to activate the spray, they made a critical mistake. In the event of an attack by wild animals. However, at the crucial moment, when they tried to activate the spray, they made a critical mistake. They didn't take the wind direction into account. As a result, when the spray was released, the strong wind blew the cloud of aerosol back into the faces of the people, and not towards the bear. What did that lead to? What do you think? Naturally, this led to immediate irritation of the eyes and throat for the group members, seriously complicating the situation. Although the bear was partially affected by the aerosol, he didn't get enough of it to have a significant impact on him. Instead of backing down, the bear showed aggression, sensing an opportunity and not encountering serious resistance. Nevertheless, the instinctive screams and noise created by the group in an attempt to protect themselves ultimately played a crucial role. These actions helped to scare off the bear, which apparently preferred to retreat. All the participants in the incident were saved, you could say, by a miracle, as the situation could have easily ended in a much more tragic outcome. Although, maybe the bear just doesn't like dining on people, seasoned with bear spray. What do you think about this situation? Leave your thoughts in the comments. A nighttime visitor at the campsite. An incident occurred in one of the national forests in Teton County, USA. That could have had much more serious consequences. If it weren't for the quick actions of one of the friends, 2 tourists decided to spend the night in a tent, getting away from it all, in nature. However, the nighttime peace was shattered when something started rustling in the bushes near their camp. The noise turned out to be caused by an adult grizzly, drawn in by the smell of food, which was probably coming from the tent. One of the friends reacted instantly. Realizing the potential threat, he grabbed the bear spray that they kept handy in case of a wildlife encounter. Without leaving the tent, he sprayed a cloud of spray through the doorway, aiming in the direction of the sound. The effectiveness of the spray was immediate. The bear, feeling the irritating effects of the chemical components, quickly retreated. However, despite successfully fending off the attack, some of the aerosol also got inside the tent. This caused both friends to cough and tear up, which was a side effect of their defensive action. Despite the discomfort, the main outcome was that the tourists' lives were kept safe. This caused both friends to cough and tear up, which was a side effect of their defensive action. Despite the discomfort, the main result, the safety of tourists' lives, was achieved. And I want to emphasize once again that many people don't think about safety techniques when using sprays like this. You always need to make sure that in case of a threat, the active ingredient doesn't get inside your space. When using sprays like this, you must always be sure that in the event of a threat, the active substance will not enter your premises. And definitely not in your eyes. What would have happened if that guy hadn't hit the bear? After the cloud of spray filled the tent, they wouldn't have been able to defend themselves anymore. A grisly attack on a farmer who wasn't quick enough. The next incident happened in Alaska, on a farm located near the woods. This incident highlights the risks associated with sudden encounters with wild animals. The farmer, noticing the bear near the barn, tried to use the bear spray, but the situation quickly got out of hand. The bear, possibly reacting to the movement of the person or sensing a threat, managed to close the distance to a dangerous range before the farmer could use the spray. The bear, possibly reacting to the person's movement or sensing a threat, managed to close the distance to a dangerous range before the farmer could use the spray. Managed to close the distance to a dangerous range before the farmer could use the spray. When the farmer finally sprayed the aerosol, the distance between him and the bear was already minimal. The spray was activated, but the aerosol cloud only partially hit the bear. As a result, although the animal jumped back, it managed to react to the irritating substance. The farmer suffered several deep wounds due to delay in using the spray. Fortunately, the bear didn't continue the attack. This incident ended well for the farmer, in the sense that he survived. However, surgery was required to treat the injuries he sustained. The incident highlights the importance of keeping bear spray on hand and using it correctly. Experts recommend using the spray from a distance of 10 to 30 feet to ensure maximum effectiveness and safety. A bear is chasing a cyclist on one of the mountain trails in Colorado, USA. An event occurred that serves as a vivid example of the right actions to take when encountering wild animals in extreme conditions. A cyclist, enjoying a ride on a forest trail, suddenly found himself being chased at full speed by a black bear, a species generally considered less aggressive than the grizzly, but still posing a serious threat. Instinctively understanding the danger of the situation, the cyclist did not try to speed up or run away. What could provoke the bear into even more aggressive actions? Instead, he decided to stop, which, although it seems like something incredibly stupid, often recommended by experts as a way to avoid further animal aggression. It's important to understand that in some cases, running away can trigger the bear's chase instinct. With courage and determination, the cyclist grabbed the bear spray he always carried with him for situations like this. And he sprayed it right in the direction of the bear when it got really close. The effective use of the spray had an immediate impact. The bear suddenly stopped. The bear sniffled from the irritating effects of the aerosol's chemical components and, losing interest in the chase, turned and ran off into the woods. It seems to me that this guy has definitely watched TV shows about how to survive in the wild and how to avoid encounters with bears. And there's really a lot to learn from this situation. Well, let me tell you another story. A case involving a summer camp and a wrong demonstration. In one of the camps for teenagers in British Columbia, Canada, an incident occurred, which highlighted the importance of safety techniques when using such aerosols. The instructor, trying to show a group of teenagers how to properly use the spray, made a critical mistake. He chose a closed space for this. Made a critical mistake. Choosing a closed space for this. To say that he can't think at all is putting it mildly. How could anyone even think of doing something like that? Apparently, he thought it would be perfectly safe to demonstrate the use of bear spray indoors. But he didn't take into account the fact that in a closed space, all that active ingredient doesn't just disappear. Instead, it spreads pretty quickly throughout the room. It doesn't just vanish into thin air. On the contrary, it spreads pretty quickly throughout the room. The reaction to this was immediate and sharp. Children indoors. I started to experience coughing, watery eyes, and shortness of breath, classic symptoms of exposure to the irritants contained in the spray. The situation quickly worsened, and several kids along with the instructor were hospitalized with irritation of the mucous membranes, which required medical intervention. Fortunately, no one died. The incident left everyone present with serious consequences and a lesson for life. And it seems to me that's it. The safety instructor will never be invited to teach kids again. At least, I wouldn't have let that happen. A bear attacked a dog, but the owner saved it. The situation with the spray. Well, here we go, another bear incident. An incident occurred in one of the national parks in Washington state, which once again confirmed the importance of having self-defense tools when encountering wild animals. A man was walking his medium-sized dog when suddenly a brown bear jumped out of the bushes at them. The bear probably saw the dog as potential prey, which could have led to a tragic outcome. The owner's reaction was instant and decisive. Realizing the danger, he immediately used the bear spray that he always carried with him on walks. In this region, the effectiveness of the spray was immediate. The bear, feeling a strong burning sensation in its eyes and having trouble breathing, quickly retreated, giving the man and his dog a chance to safely leave the encounter. Although the dog received some scratches, they were minor and no serious injuries were sustained. The owner, on the other hand, came out completely unscathed. Later, he shared his thoughts on what happened, admitting that he never thought a small can of spray could be so effective and save their lives. By the way, some of the spray also got on the dog. But don't think that it somehow negatively affects animals or can seriously harm them. How many people have died due to improper use? Statistics provided by various conservation and wildlife management organizations in the United States and Canada, which emphasizes the importance of properly using bear spray to ensure personal safety in situations when there's a threat of a bear attack. Even though such incidents are relatively rare, improper use of the spray can lead to tragic consequences. When there's a threat of a bear attack, even though such incidents are relatively rare, improper use of the spray can lead to tragic consequences. But what exactly should you not do? I promise you, and I'm telling you, panic spraying against the wind. This is one of the most common mistakes. When spraying against the wind, the aerosol can blow back into the user's face, causing irritation or even temporary loss of vision and orientation, which makes a person more vulnerable to a bear attack. Forget about bears, even pepper spray meant for self-defense against people. It's often misused against robbers and thugs. But there's an even dumber mistake: using spray in an enclosed space. There have been cases where the spray was used in tight spaces, like tents or shelters. This can lead to burns of the respiratory tract or even poisoning due to the concentration of aerosol in a small volume of air. This can be deadly not just for the attacking animal, but for the person as well. People who often have allergic reactions need to be especially vigilant. The active substance can actually cause an allergy, which will cause a person to choke. And it's also important to be able to quickly grab the spray. In critical situations where every second counts, the inability to quickly grab and activate the spray can cost a person their life. Often, people lose the spray, can't remove the safety cap, or even forget about it. How to use it in a moment of danger? You need to try all of this out, practice it, somewhere in nature, away from people, so that in case of danger, you can definitely protect yourself. According to statistics, there have been several fatal incidents recorded over the past few decades. That could have been prevented with more effective and proper use of the spray. These cases highlight the need for thorough training and practice in using sprays for self-defense against bears, especially for those who spend a lot of time in their habitats. Today, I shared with you a few vivid episodes where people used spray against bears. Some of them were quite successful, while others, unfortunately, made mistakes and took big risks. Share your thoughts on this in the comments. And I want to emphasize again that many of the people I told you about acted professionally. By the way, do you know where else we need pros? In our team. Friends, you have the chance to join our team. If you have video editing skills, you can voice over videos in Russian, English, and other languages. Or do you write interesting scripts? We would be happy to work with you. Message us on the Telegram bot. The link is in the description, and thank you for watching.